Next paragraph is bonus share issued by subsidiary company out of post acquisition profit. Bonus share issued by subsidiary company out of post acquisition profit. So that means their pre acquisition reserve will not be used. So it will not affect goodwill or capital reserve. Net asset on the date of acquisition remains the same. So for giving the second effect of bonus share received by parent company, we will reduce it from subsidiary company's post acquisition reserve. We will reduce it from the post acquisition reserve of subsidiary and add it to the consolidated reserve. Add it to the consolidated reserve. Reduce from subsidiary post acquisition reserve, and after that you write here add to consolidated reserve. Add to consolidated reserve. Add to consolidated reserve. Parent company share. What about minority share? Minority share in minority interest. Then you have to write somewhere below, some space is there. Minority share will be added to minority interest. And then there is a instruction I have written for the student. Instruction: if the problem is silent, assume bonus shares are issued out of pre-acquisition profit or reserve. That instruction I have written. If the problem is silent, assume bonus shares are issued out of pre-acquisition reserve. Okay. So this completes bonus share discussion. After some time we will take 2-3 questions on bonus share also. Then next, minority share will be added to minority interest. Last line is minority share will be added to minority interest. Okay. Debenture issued by subsidiary. Debenture issued by subsidiary. Is it written in your book also? What happened? Dance? Again? Okay, bas. Debenture issued by subsidiary. The portion of debenture belonging to holding company will be cancelled against the investment of holding company. So liability side, this is holding company, this is subsidiary company. In holding company asset side, investment in debenture is appearing, and in the subsidiaries liability side, under non-current liability, debenture issued is appearing. Cancel. But the amount are not equal. The difference will be adjusted in P&L account. The difference will be adjusted in P&L account. The difference will be adjusted in P&L account. Suppose this amount is 1,10,000 and this amount is 1 lakh, or this amount is 90,000, this amount is 1 lakh. So the difference will be adjusted in profit and loss account as a gain or loss. Is it right? Earlier the institute suggested answer used to adjust in goodwill or capital reserve, but now in your ICI, IPCC or intermediate study material, it is written it will be adjusted in P&L account. So we will follow ICI. This is right also, because this is a profit or loss on debenture. It is not an equity share, hence goodwill is not to be adjusted. Had it been share capital, then goodwill is okay. But if it is a liability, then it is better to adjust the profit and loss account. Okay, followed? The proportion of debenture held by outsider will be shown in non-current liability. Now what do you mean by this line? Suppose total debenture issued by subsidiary is 2 lakh. Holding company is holding only 1 lakh. So 1 lakh I will cancel. 2 lakh minus 1 lakh. 1 lakh will appear as a non-current liability. So those debenture held outside the group, those debenture held outside the group will appear in the balance sheet as a liability. Now there are few more paragraphs on consolidated revenue account, but that I will take later. Why? Because first we will take problems on consolidation of balance sheet. Then we will take problem on consolidation of profit and loss account. Okay. Mostly in the exam they ask you consolidation of balance sheet, mostly. But sometimes they may ask you consolidation of P&L account also. Is it right? Yes. So what you do, dear students, kindly come to one question number 1. Just see, are you able to locate question number 1? A Limited holds 80% of the equity share capital of B. That question. A Limited holds 80% of the equity share capital of B, which was acquired on 31st December 10, underline, 31st December 10, underline. So suppose this is the year 31st December 2010 is the date of acquisition. When the latter company had a credit balance of P&L account 15,000. So on the date of acquisition, P&L account balance was 15,000 and general reserve balance is 20,000. This is the date of acquisition figure. This will help us to calculate the net asset on the date of acquisition or goodwill. Is it right? So institute will help you. It is up to you to understand the hint. The stock held by A Limited include rupees 5,000 for goods supplied by B. Who supplied to whom? B supplied to A. B supplied to A. So upstream transaction. It is called upstream transaction. Upstream transaction. B Limited sold goods to A 5,000 at a profit of 20% on selling price. So what is the unrealized profit on stock? Unrealized profit on stock will be 1,000. Yes or no? How did you reach that magic number? 20% of 5,000. So 1,000 is the unrealized profit. And then the problem says from the following balance sheet, prepare a consolidated balance sheet on 31st December 2011. So 31st December 11 is the date of consolidation. Date of consolidation. So what is the gap here? 1 year. So current year profit is post acquisition. Current year profit is post acquisition. This period is post acquisition period. And in the consolidated balance sheet, you will see P&L account is appearing 10,000 and general reserve is appearing 30,000. No. General reserve is 30. Subsidiary is 30. So there is some change in the P&L account. How much is the change? 5,000 negative. And there is some change in general reserve, positive 10,000. So this we will call post acquisition reserve. This will call post. After acquisition, change in profit and loss account is 5,000 and change in general reserve is 10,000. This is just for understanding. And there is only one adjustment in the problem. Unrealized profit on of upstream transaction. I hope you are ready with the format, balance sheet. Have you brought balance sheet format? No. Okay, first let me read the balance sheet. Liability side, share capital, capital reserve, general reserve, P&L account, creditor, bills payable, freehold property, investment in B, stock, debtor, cash. Very easy problem. Start. First, what we will do, we'll prepare some basic formats required to solve the problem. One main answer and followed by working notes. Main answer is consolidated balance sheet. Main balance sheet is called consolidated balance sheet. Write down heading in your notebook. I will dictate, you will write consolidated balance sheet of A Limited as on consolidated balance sheet of A Limited as on 31st December 2011. 31st December 2011. Is it right? Oh, the balance sheet is also there, format. Good. So now write down equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities. Do you remember format or you forgot? Bolo, we forgot. We remember equity and liabilities. Under that you write down in capital letter owners funds. Owners funds. After equity and liability write owners fund. OWNERS. Owners funds. Under owners fund write one shareholder fund. Under owners fund write shareholder fund. Under shareholder fund write A share capital, B reserve and surplus, B reserve and surplus. Then point number 2 write minority interest. Minority interest will appear as a separate point below reserve and surplus. For share capital write note 1, for reserve and surplus write note 2. Minority interest will prepare a working note 4 later. So you can write working note 4 either now or later. Then write point number 2. Keep question book in front of you. Do we have any current liability item there? Yes, current liabilities. Under current liabilities, we have two types of current liabilities. A, trade payable. Is it there, trade payable? Yes. Trade payable, don't add creditor. Trade payable is enough. Trade payable, under that write down A Limited, B Limited. Have to add it later. Then write B, bills payable. Bills payable. A Limited, B Limited. Then you keep one line blank and write total. Bills payable is a part of trade payable only. You are right. That is why under that only. You can give Roman 1, Roman 2. Substance over form. Substance over form. Now is the balance sheet over? Say no. Only liability side is over. Below that write assets. Don't write this bank overdraft, that is not there. So write down part B, assets. Under assets you write down 1, as usual, non-current asset. I hope you remember the schedule 3 format. Yes, 1 non-current asset. Under non-current asset write A, fixed asset. Fixed asset. You have to write, there is no choice. Under that fixed asset write tangible asset. If you write less, they will also write less. Tangible asset. The purpose is to check both your ability to prepare balance sheet in schedule 3 format and holding company problem. Freehold property, 2 columns, 2 lines, A, B, or you want to make separate working note for each item. In some of the institute answer they have made separate note for each item. We can do like that also. But exam starts at 10:30. Exam ends at 1:30. So if you write so many things for one question only, you will not get time for the other questions. Okay? So that is why we have to keep time limit also in mind. Now write down point number 2, intangible asset. Then some student will raise an objection. What objection? There is no intangible asset in the question book. But we have to visualize that possibly there may be some goodwill arising in the working note 3 which I am going to prepare for goodwill. And then you should need some space for that. You need some space for that. If you don't keep the space book, then you will write below current asset. And it is wrong. Yes or no? So in every problem, whether I tell you or not, you will write intangible asset, goodwill, before you start current asset. Point number 2, current asset. Keep the question in front of you. In current asset, there are 3 items. A, inventories. Under inventories, there is an adjustment. So therefore, I have added one more line here. A, B, one line blank, less unrealized profit. Less unrealized profit or stock reserve. Less unrealized profit or stock reserve. Then B, trade receivable. 2 lines blank. Keep 2 lines blank because you need to add A and B. Then write cash and cash equivalent. 2 lines blank. 2 lines blank. Why 2 lines blank? A, B, A, B. Okay? Total. This completes. What does this complete? Only balance sheet format. So you understand, from reading till drawing the format only took 15 minutes. Solution is pending. One question average will take either 2 hours or 1.5 hours. Okay, so per day we'll solve. In 3 days we'll solve 4 problems. Some portion will get carried forward to next day. We are accountant, so we speak in year only. Note number 1, share capital. Note number 1, share capital. Keep 5 lines blank. Just keep 5 lines blank. When I will come to this, that time we will write authorized, issued, subscribed, paid up, called up. Okay. 5 lines blank. One more, note number 2. Just write reserve and surplus, keep 5 lines blank. Reserve and surplus, keep 6 lines blank. Don't write inside anything. Just keep 6 lines blank. Right hand side, rupees, rupees. Rupees, rupees. Okay. Do not write inside anything. This completes only main balance sheet. Now there is a long list of. So first working note 1, write down shareholding pattern of B Limited. Shareholding pattern of B Limited. Why we need this working note? Because we need to calculate the percentage stake of holding company and subsidiary company. In this problem, percentage is already given to you. So I don't need number column. I don't need. Otherwise waste of time. You are already running short of time. A Limited 80%, minority interest 20%. Okay. Say yes. Yes. 80-20 you written. This is called working note 1, shareholding pattern of subsidiary company. You have to find out how much is held by A, how much is held by B. Now don't write inside anything, okay? Next, working note 2 heading, write down. This is working note Analysis of profit of B Limited. Analysis of profit of B Limited. Now in this problem, there is some pre-acquisition profit, 15 and 20, and there is some post-acquisition profit also. In general reserve, in post-acquisition, there is an increase of 10,000, and in P&L account, in post-acquisition, there is a decrease of 5,000. So I will draw two columns for general reserve and P&L account. Then someone can ask, why we are not drawing two columns here also? Not required. You can draw it, but not required. Why it is not required? Because both figure, general reserve and P&L account of pre-acquisition, will be adjusted against cost of acquisition. So either I can write separately or I can add it and then write it. Effect is the same. Okay, so institute answer also takes one column only for pre-acquisition. But then why we are drawing two columns for post-acquisition? General reserve will be added to general reserve and P&L account will be added to P&L account. So if I mix the two, there is a problem. The standard says you have to add the share in post general reserve to general reserve of holding. Post P&L account, add it to the profit and loss account of holding. So I need how much is my share in general reserve, how much is my share in P&L account in the post acquisition period, and therefore keep the identity of post acquisition reserves separate. Keep the identity of post acquisition reserve separate, because share in reserve will get added to reserve, share in profit will get added to profit, share in capital reserve will be added to capital reserve. This is not required in pre-column because all of these will ultimately get adjusted against cost of acquisition only. So they have same treatment, but post figure has different treatment. Okay, keep 12 lines blank. Keep how many lines blank? 10 to 12, minimum 10. More than that is only just keep the lines blank. Now write down next important working note number 3. This is important working note number 3. This will help us to calculate goodwill or capital reserve, also called cost of control working note. Also called cost of control working note. Serial number, particulars, rupees. Serial number A, cost of acquisition. Serial number A, cost of acquisition. Only draw the format, then we will solve. Without format you will not be able to solve smoothly. Okay. Point number B, write down less share in net asset of subsidiary as on the date of acquisition. Share in net asset of subsidiary as on the date of acquisition. Under that 2 points write share in share capital, then share in pre-acquisition profit and reserve. Share in pre-acquisition profit or reserve. Add share in share capital return, share in pre-acquisition profit or reserve. This figure you will get from previous working note 2, pre-acquisition column, parent company share. So from there, here, and then you will compare the two figures A and B. If A is greater than B, goodwill. B is greater than A, both are equal. No goodwill, no capital reserve. Possible? Say yes. So one more working note. Minority interest. Right. Otherwise, how will you write in balance sheet minority interest? You will say, sir, we will use shortcut. Share capital plus reserve multiplied by 20%. Yes or no? It will not match today. Kyun? Why? That you will see later, and you will only answer why it will not match. That is why I don't allow shortcuts. Shortcuts will give you success for only short period. But not long term. You only know everything, huh? Okay, so now we are going to prepare one more working note. 5 working note will be required in this problem. Then after that we'll take one more question where 6 will be required. 7. There is one question 7 also. Next slide. Let your friend write first. Done. Working note number 5. Consolidated P&L account dash A Limited. Working note 5. Consolidated P&L account. Whose consolidated P&L account? A. Means it will include A Limited own profit, and it will include the share in the post acquisition profit of B. It will include share in post acquisition profit of B. So keep the format ready. It becomes very easy afterwards. This is the basic format in every problem. What you have drawn, just have a look at it. First you prepared balance sheet that you require. Note 1, note 2 you require. Working note 1, shareholding pattern you require in every problem. Only if you are holding 100% share, then shareholding pattern is not required. Then pre and post acquisition profit. Using that we'll find goodwill or capital reserve. Then I require minority interest working note because it also has to be shown separately. And the last working note, consolidated P&L account, which will include holding company's profit plus share in the post acquisition profit of subsidiary. Ready? Now you see it will take another 10 minutes only. Ready? Steady? Go. Question I will read again. A Limited holds 80% of the equity share capital of B, which was acquired on 31st December 2010 when the latter company had a credit balance of 15,000 and 20,000 in P&L account and general reserve. Stock of A includes 5,000 goods supplied by B at a profit of 20% on selling price. We will do this adjustment when we will come to that point. Okay. Now basic rule of finalization will follow here also. Any figure you are taking from the given balance sheet, 1 effect. Any adjustment, 2 effect. Any adjustment. So if I am doing anything which is not in the given balance sheets, there must be a 2 effect. There must be double effect. Otherwise your consolidated balance sheet will not tally. Is it right? So share capital of A Limited. Where will you write share capital of A Limited? 5 lakh rupees. Note number 1, below the balance sheet. Write down authorized. Write down authorized. Is authorized given? No. So dash dash equity share of rupees 10 each, dash dash dash, double underline. Then write issued, subscribed and paid up. Issued, subscribed and paid up I can write 50,000 equity share of rupees 10 each fully paid. So how much is that? Is it 5 lakh? There is no adjustment in this share capital. Go to balance sheet. Write fast. You are writing like a 6-7 standard student. 5 lakh you have written. Without further instruction, go to the balance sheet. You have written share capital here. Write in the inner column 5 lakh. What about the subsidiary company share capital 1 lakh? not in balance sheet, but it will be written in two other places. One in working note 3 and one in working note 4. In working note 3, holding company's share in share capital I will write. And in working note 4, minority interest in the share capital I will write. Okay? So come to working note 3. Point number B1. Point number, what is B1? Share in share capital. Share in share capital. So write calculation. 80% of, if you miss any figure, your balance sheet will not tally. So write 80,000 here. This was the balance in share capital account on the date of acquisition. I have told you net asset can be arrived at by either asset minus liability or share capital plus reserve. So we are using share capital plus reserve route. So 80% of share capital and 80% of pre-acquisition profit, but that figure I will get later. Remaining 20,000, you write here. Remaining 20,000 in working note 4. So this is the distribution of that 1 lakh. So single effect only we have given. 80 at one place, 20 at other place. Then what about capital reserve? A Limited. Reserve and surplus. A Limited, reserve and surplus. Right, capital reserve of A. Is it 1,20,000? Stop, wait. B does not have a capital reserve. B does not have capital reserve. Question book in front of you. General reserve of A I will write here in the inner column. Sir, why you have written in inner column? Because there is some post-acquisition general reserve of B that later we are going to add it here. So if there is a post-acquisition general reserve of subsidiary, that will get added to general reserve of parent. But to know that figure, we'll have to wait. We'll not move from here and there, otherwise we'll miss something. Only move in the order. And then there is a general reserve of B also. Where will you write? General reserve of B in working note 2. 2. Analysis of profit. Working note 2. You have general reserve of B. You only told me that pre-acquisition is 20,000 and post-acquisition is 10,000, 30,000 minus 20,000. So this working note is for analysis of profit and reserve of B. Although the heading is AOP, but it is both AOP and AOR also. Analysis of profit and reserve. Unnecessarily, I don't want to increase the size of the heading. It will include both items, profit and loss account and all reserves of subsidiary divided into pre and post column. Understood? Any query on general reserve till now? Haji? What about subsidiary P&L account? P&L account of A. Working note 5. In working note 5, write A Limited. How much is A Limited P&L account? 40. Is it right? 40? And in B Limited, balance sheet figure is 10,000. But you have to divide this into two columns, pre and post. Pre is given in the problem. 15,000, first paragraph. First paragraph 15 is given. But balance sheet is 10. So this will be 5,000 negative. Total should match with balance sheet. Is it matching? So we have just written 10,000 only, analyzed into pre-column and post-column. Any query on this? Now for some second just write calmly, quietly, no adjustment. Where will you write creditor? Balance sheet, liability side, trade payable. You've written trade payable. Under that you write A Limited. How much is creditor of A Limited? 149,700 and B Limited. So total is how much? 185. Right. Bills payable in the same manner 21,300. 7400. Anybody wants to answer the total? Huh? 28? Is it 28,700? Sure. Future of. Come to asset side. Fixed asset, tangible, freehold property. In A Limited 2,45,000, B Limited 23,000. Anybody total? You are not ready with the answer only. Good student will be always ready with the answer. You should not be persuaded to continuously answer the simple thing. Quickly, ready, next. Ho gaya. Wait, stop. What is the next item in the balance sheet? Investment in shares of B Limited. Where will you write? Where will you write? Working note 3, cost of acquisition. There is a place for everything under the sun. Okay. So this always you write here. Which figure always you will write here? Cost of acquisition for finding out goodwill or capital reserve. Is it right? Again back to balance sheet. Inventory. A Limited first column 4,14,000. B Limited total in the same column 5,30,000. There is an adjustment I will do later. Just 2 more lines. Quickly. Debtors. You have kept 2 lines blank below debtors. Write yourself. A Limited 87,000 first column. B Limited 37,400. Total trade receivable in the outer column 1,24,400. And cash equivalent. Only one figure is there. Directly outer column. 64,500. All items we have transferred. So you have noted that assets we have added, liabilities we have added. But share capital and reserve we have not added. That is useful for computation of goodwill or capital reserve, minority interest and post-acquisition reserve. One adjustment was pending. Paragraph above the given balance sheet. Stock of A includes 5,000 for goods supplied by B at a profit of 20% on selling price. So how much is the unrealized profit? Hello, unrealized 10,000. January, what is the answer? 1,000. Right here 1,000. Today you will remember, tomorrow you will not. So 20% into 5,000. So what is the BAL in the outer column? BAL means balance. But you are doing an adjustment now in the given balance sheet. Wait, stop. This is one effect. Where is the second effect? P&L account. Who has sold to whom? B has sold to A, upstream. So this 1,000 should be a portion between 2 parties, parent and minority. So I will not write entire amount in the P&L account, because then you are also going to transfer minority share by mistake to P&L account. So I have to ensure that this 1,000 gets distributed between parent and minority. So there are 2 presentation technique here. 1, 800 rupees you deduct from profit and loss account working note 5, and 200 rupees you deduct from minority interest. That is one technique. Second technique is Go to analysis of profit working note. Go to and deduct it from the profit of subsidiary. Deduct it from the and then distribute the profit of subsidiary to parent and minority. So automatically what will happen? It will get distributed in the ratio of 80 and 20. So which technique we will follow? Second, because then your efforts are reduced. And we are already a country of lazy people, except few people. Now, except means you are hard-working people. So come to this working note number 2 on the screen, third line. Less stock reserve. You can write two terms here, stock reserve or unrealized profit or unrealized profit. What you want to write? Anything. And deduct it from the profit and loss account of subsidiary post column. Then your question will be why post column? Assume it was transferred in the post acquisition period. Yes or no? Generally inventories are transferred few days or weeks or months before the balance sheet. You can't assume this inventory was sold in previous year and still it is lying in the stock. Do you keep inventory for 1 year in the stock? Not necessarily. Sometimes we keep like wines. Okay. Yes. How louder? Yes. As if you are the consumer, nahi. Producer. Now 35,000 total. So my answer is almost done. I have completed all adjustment. I have transferred all figures in balance sheet. 35,000 pre-column total. Post general reserve total 10,000. Post P&L account total negative 6,000. Is it right? And then you write down A Limited 80%. 28,000. Very good. Then 7,000. 8,000, 2,000, 4,800, 1,200. Now you will see automatically 800 rupees and 200 rupees effect has come. Yes or no? If I would have written 5,000 only, answer was 4,000 and 1,000. But if I write 6,000, the answer becomes 4,800, 1,200. So holding company share got transferred to holding company, minority share transferred to minority. Now what will you do with these 6 numbers? First understand 3 things. 1. Pre-acquisition profit. This is my first instruction. Will be adjusted against cost of acquisition to calculate goodwill, which is our working note 3. Instruction number 2. Minority interest. All figure will be added in working note 4. Minority interest, all figures, whether pre or post. Whether pre or post will be added to minority interest. So this was instruction number 2. Then what is the third instruction? Share in post general reserve will be added to general reserve of parent company, and share in post P&L account will be added to P&L account of the parent company. Right? So first we'll come to 28,000. Hello, 28,000. Where will you write 28,000? Working note 3. Point number B2. Here, share in pre-acquisition profit or reserve. So how much was that share? 28,000. Right? It will include both. Share in general reserve also and share in P&L account also. You want to write separately or together? Together. I know. That is why I also brought the format accordingly. Tell me the total of 80 plus 28. Now compare 1,20,000 versus 1,08,000. Goodwill. Tick mark goodwill. Cancel capital reserve. How much is goodwill? Is goodwill 12,000? Where will goodwill be transferred? Balance sheet liability side. Liability side, nalayak. Asset side. Intangible asset. Goodwill, working note 3, outer column 12,000. Is it right? Total 6 figures I have to transfer. One I have done. What is the second figure in that working note 3? On the screen, general reserve. No, general reserve. We'll go this way. Okay, this way. See that. So 8,000, where will you transfer, madam? Reserve and surplus note 2, you will find general reserve of A Limited was already written 1 lakh. And in that working note 2, you write here, add B Limited. Add B Limited in bracket working note 2, 8,000, outer column, 1,08,000. 2 figures we have transferred. Third figure. What is third figure? Third figure is P&L account negative 4800. We'll go in this sequence. Any sequence is okay, but we'll follow certain pattern. Okay. It becomes easy later. So 4800, where I will transfer? Working note 5. Because working note 5 is the consolidated profit and loss account. What will you write there? Add share in post acquisition profit of B. Amount 4,000 positive. Total. Where will you transfer this number? This you transfer to note 2. Note 2, reserve and surplus. This is a reserve and surplus item, na? So please go to note 2. Where is note 2? This one, right here, consolidated P&L account. Consolidated P&L account, how much? 35,200. Now tell me the total of reserve and surplus. 2 lakh? 63,000? Sure. Future of many people is at stake. Give me the correct answer only. 2,63,200. Please go to balance sheet, asset side, yes or no? Liability side. Point number B, reserve and surplus. How much was that figure? 2 lakh? 63? Total in the outer column. 763,200. Wait, minority interest, who will write? Modi ji? Everything you leave for only one person. So this 3 figure, you will first transfer to working note 4. So go to working note 4. You write first share in share capital. No, share in share capital is over. Pre-acquisition. Positive. And working note 2, share in post. You have to add the 2 figure. Which 2 figures? Share in general reserve was how much?
2,000.
And share in profit and loss account? Negative 1,200. So total is 800. And this total is how much? Sure. Is it 27,800? Yes. Yes. So where will you transfer? Balance sheet liability side, third line. Balance sheet liability side. How much you said? 27,800. Yes. Now write directly in the outer column. Working note 4 you have written here. Now tell me the total of this liability side. 10 lakh. 5,400. Yes. Now you tell me the total of the asset side yourself. How much? 10 lakh only? Everybody? Or somebody? Tallied. So what you have done? Nothing. Same figures you have written in different format. Yes or no? Same figure. Most of them you have simply added, and in few cases you have just the adjustment. Now your query, can I use minority interest using shortcut format? It will not tell you. Why? See, take your calculator. Share capital of B is 1 lakh. General reserve 30,000. P&L account 10,000. Total into 20%. But your answer is 27,800. 200 rupees loss, less. Why 200 rupees less? Because of the unrealized profit on stock. Because of that unrealized profit on stock. So, but then it will require unnecessary effort. It is better to follow this process. This will guarantee tallying of balance sheet in one attempt only, subject to you give double effect. Okay. Anybody any query on question number 1? No? Okay. So can we come to question number 2? So one more easy question. Number 2. So all of you are ready? Very easy problem 2. The following are the balance sheet of H and S on 31st March 2012. Underline 31st March 12. This is called date of consolidation. This is called date of consolidation. Date of consolidation is 31st March 2012. And then liability side, share capital of rupees 10 each, reserve balance in P&L account on 1/4/11, profit for the year, and current year creditor. Now this financial year is 1/4/11 to 31st March 12. Okay. And then asset side, non-current asset, share in S Limited, cost of acquisition. Afterwards you will write in goodwill working note. And cash at bank. H Limited acquired 80% of the shares in S Limited on 1st October 2011. So where is 1st October here? Date of acquisition. This is your date of conso. Date of conso. So in this problem, be careful. From 1st April to 1st October, this is pre-acquisition period, 6 months. 6 months. From 1st October to 31st March 12, this is post. Okay, 6 months. So current year profit, you see in the problem, last second item, liability side, profit for the year. That profit for the year will be apportioned in the ratio of 6:6. And what about the earlier profit, reserve, balance in P&L account on 1/4/11? That reserve opening balance and P&L account opening balance, both will go to pre-column. Both will go to, because they were created in the previous year. So they are brought forward from previous year. So this reserve 10,000 and this P&L account 30,000, both I will write in pre-column. And current year profit will divide into 6:6 ratio. The current profit will divide in the ratio of 6:6. That is 1:1. So the third line, 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees you will divide in the ratio of 6:6. Okay. Now the problem is easy. Next line. Continue. Question book in front of you. Don't keep calculator over it. Remove calculator. Included in the asset of H Limited, there is rupees 30,000 loan to S, shown as creditor in S Limited. Shown as creditor in S Limited. Sundry asset of S Limited include furniture and fitting of 40,000 to be revalued at rupees 50,000, being over depreciated as on 1st October 2011. So first you go to liability side, tick mark creditor. Sir, why? Because it includes intercompany dues of rupees 30,000. Tick mark non-current asset, single tick. It includes intercompany dues 30. So remove 30,000 from creditor. Remove 30,000 rupees from non-current asset. Wait. One more adjustment. In the non-current asset of subsidiary, there is some furniture whose book value is 40,000. But now they want to revalue it to 50,000. So we have to pass an entry for revaluation upward. Haji. Second bench, middle student. Entry for revaluation of fixed asset upward. Fixed asset to revaluation reserve. 10,000, 10,000. You are right. So tick mark non-current asset one more time. Double tick. First tick for intercompany dues, second tick for fixed asset appreciation. And where will you write this revaluation reserve 10,000? Pre-acquisition. This we will write in pre-acquisition line column. Okay. So pre-acquisition column will have 4 items. This reserve 10,000. This P&L account 30,000. Current year 6-month profit 5,000. And revaluation reserve 10,000. So guess what will be in the post acquisition? Only one figure. Current year last 6-month profit. Current year, that's it. Now you can ask me, sir, give us homework, we can do it. Classwork, then I have to do only. Ultimately. Yes or no? So what you do, first you draw balance sheet. Depreciation. This lady has raised one important question. Ignore. Why? One, the rate is not given. Second, you cannot find out the rate in any other manner also. Except you can say as per Schedule 2 of Companies Act 2013, the rate of depreciation on furniture is. Do you want to do that? That's right. Why to bring Schedule 2 of Companies Act 2013 into picture? Even the paper checker will not understand. What they don't understand, 0 mark. Most of the things they don't understand. So only we will solve what is given in the problem. So depreciation on revaluation is ignored. Note you will write at the end of the answer. After working note 5, depreciation on revaluation is ignored. So is your balance sheet liability side over? No. Why? Work in progress. Okay. So first you complete this liability side format, then I will give you asset side format, and then you will solve. Yes or no? Okay, now we will write asset side. Those who have done good, others will copy from some neighborhood person. No, you have to write fast. Part B, asset. Part B, assets. Under assets, you write 1. Non-current asset. Non-current asset. Under that non-current asset, write H limited, S limited, one line blank, less intercompany dues, one line blank, add increase in value of fixed asset, then before you write goodwill, you write intangible here. Intangible asset. Under that, goodwill. Is your asset side ready? How many of you have done? Okay, wait for some time. Let other people also do. You can't be so selfish. Okay, now after this balance sheet, what will you write? Notes to account. Note number 1, share capital. Okay, on your own. Note number 2, reserve and surplus, 6 lines blank. Both working note, both notes, 6 lines approximately blank. And then there are 5 working notes. Shareholding pattern of S Limited. Shareholding pattern of S Limited. Shareholding pattern of S Limited, write down. H Limited is holding how many share? Minority interest? Okay, that's it. We'll only write what is minimum required because it takes a lot of time to solve such problems. What is working note 2? Analysis of profit. How many columns? 3 or 4? 2, 3, 4. Option A, 2, 3, 4. Tick mark. 4. This lady is saying 4. 3 is right. Particular column, pre-column, post-column. Serial number also you want to write. That is why 4, kya? Achha. Now I got it. 4 is right. Huh? One person is asking me a question that why you have not drawn 2 columns here, because general reserve entire 10,000 will go to pre only. It was already in existence on 1st April 11. No increase in general reserve in the current year. Is it right? So since there is no increase in general reserve in the current year, there is no need to open a separate column in the post acquisition. In case if you want to open, you can, but it will remain blank. Okay. So sometimes students do write it, but it remains blank. It's okay. Blank is okay than writing a wrong answer. Okay. But this time I will not do that. I know that I don't require it. Why to waste my time, energy and space? After keeping some 12 lines blank, how many lines? Around 12 lines. Hello, write fast. Then write working note 3 over 4, 5. Now I will do in one page only. See how pages are saved. Yes or no? Working note 3, 4, 5 in. You will write one below the other. You will write one below the other. You will not write like this. You have enough pages. Write the inner details also. Cost of acquisition. Less share in net asset of subsidiary as on the date of acquisition. Whatever I have written in working note 3, 4, 5, you also write. And preferably you should be able to now remember the format for goodwill and minority interest. So you can do yourself. Every time I am going to write similar format only. Some small changes I may do if required. Okay. So don't be rattebaj. According to question, we may change it also. Done? Start. Share capital. Come to the balance sheet now. Assuming you have drawn the format. Assuming you have drawn working note 5 also. Right. So like previous problem, first we will transfer share capital of holding company to note 1 and then from note 1 to balance sheet. So we are on note 1 right now. Share capital authorized dash dash equity share capital of rupees 10 each. Dash 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 double underline. Issued, subscribed and paid up 20,000 equity share of rupees 10 each, fully paid 2 lakh. Is right 2 lakh? Second effect. Balance sheet. Which side? Very good. Right here 2 lakh. Be little active, huh? We have to solve one more. 2 lakh. Then share capital S Limited 50,000. 50,000 into, 50,000 into 80%, working note 3. Under the heading goodwill or capital reserve, point number B1, share in share capital, this place. Share in share capital, 80% of 50,000. Every time you will write the calculation and answer in the first column every time. 40,000. And minority interest, share in share capital, 20% of 50,000. 10,000. Is it 10 or 20? 10,000. Who said 20? गलती से तो इंसान होते हैं, सॉरी इंसानों से तो गलती होती है. Now next is reserve. Next is reserve. Where? H Limited reserve 30,000. Where will you write? Note 2. Where is note 2? This one. Right, reserve. H Limited 30,000. And what about S Limited reserve? In note number 2, working note number 2, working note 2, pre-acquisition column. Why pre? Because there is a date written here, 1/4/11. This date is before the date of acquisition. The date of acquisition is 1st October. Date of acquisition is 1st October and this reserve is 1st April. So it is pre-acquisition reserve. Now profit and loss account, 2 lines are given. Last year closing balance and this year profit is also given. Is it right? So first H Limited, where we will write H Limited? Working note 5. Working note 5. Kindly come to working note 5. Right here, H Limited, 60,000 last year plus 40,000 current year, total 1 lakh. You want to write in 2 lines? You can write. You want to write in 2 lines, 31st March 2011 and current year. No, not required because both have to be written at same place. Both figures will have to be written in the same working note. So either you write separately or you write together. Total will remain 1 lakh only. However, the subsidiaries P&L account I have to write separately because there it makes an impact in your pre and post calculation. So here I will write 2 lines. Profit and loss account, working note 2, 1/4/11. This 1/4/11 profit figure 30,000 fully pre-column, and then write down profit for the year. Profit for the year. Question in front of you, 4th line. 4th line, profit for the year in ratio. In the ratio, either write 6:6 or 1:1. What you want? 6:6 is easy for understanding number of months also. Because afterwards you want to know why 6 month pre, 6 month post. Yes or no? Yes. Next, creditor. Where? Balance sheet. Liability side. Last item. H Limited is how much? S Limited is how much? Total in the same column. How much is intercompany dues? 30,000. See the first line below the balance sheet. Is it 30,000? Included in the assets of H Limited is 30,000 loan to S, which is shown as creditor in S Limited. So what is the net creditor in the outer column? 1 lakh. Remember, we have to also adjust 30,000 in the subsidiary or asset side. Yes. Now you please come to asset side. I will deduct. Don't worry. Don't worry. Today as homework, solve both the problem again. Non-current asset H Limited 1,80,000. S Limited total in the same column less intercompany dues 30,000. Second effect of that 30,000. So what is the balance right now? Keep it here. One more adjustment is pending in this. There were 2 ticks. You have done only 1 tick. Revaluation later. Do not break the line. Stand in the queue. Share in S Limited. Where will you write share in S? Working note number 3, line number A. Line number A, working note 3, every time. Okay, you can close your eyes and also write. No problem, I won't mind. So that is 2,30,000. And what about cash and cash equivalent? Asset side of balance sheet, last item. H Limited, how much? S Limited, total 40,000. I know. I was checking. Awakeness, alertness. Okay. Last adjustment is pending. What is the last adjustment? Sundry asset of S Limited include furniture and fitting of rupees 40,000 to be revalued at rupees 50,000. Entry: fixed asset account debit to revaluation reserve account. On the screen you will see non-current asset is appearing, and that furniture and fixture is included in non-current asset only in the balance sheet. So entry: furniture account debit means add, increase in value of fixed asset 10,000, in bracket 50,000 minus 40,000. Is it 10,000? So what is the total? This is one effect. Where is the second effect? Revaluation reserve will appear in profit, will pre-acquisition profit. No, not reserve and surplus. Wait. Not reserve and surplus. Your query is genuine. The answer is, whose reserve and surplus is this? Subsidiary. Subsidiaries, all reserve item will come in this working note first. Is it right? So here I will write revaluation reserve. Not in note 2. Not in note 2. So revaluation reserve, pre-column, how much? 10,000. It is subsidiaries asset which we have revalued. All adjustments are over. Draw one line, write total here. Total of pre-acquisition, is it 55,000? Total of post, I will tell you 5,000. Then you write here H Limited 80%, one line blank, minority interest 20%. 20. So first is 44,000, 11,000, 4,000, 1,000. Wait, I am going to ask query. Where will you transfer this 44,000? Working note 3. Where will you transfer this 4,000? Post acquisition profit holding company. Working note 5. Where will you transfer these two figure? Minority interest, working note 4. Is it right? This is only for understanding. So please go to working note 3. In line number B2. Line number B2. How much? 44,000. Total in the outer column. Goodwill or capital reserve? Goodwill. Capital reserve cancel. 1 lakh. Balance sheet asset side. Intangible asset. Is it right? 1,46,000, dear student? Louder, yes. Let the whole awam hear your voice. That's better. So write goodwill 1,46,000. Working note 3 you have written. Here working note 3. Right. Wrote. Okay, wrote. You're right. Which is the next figure? 4,000. 4,000. Where? Working note number 5. Add S Limited in bracket working note 2. This figure is coming from working note 2, 4,000. This total is 1 lakh 4,000. This you will transfer to note number 2. Is right? Please go to note number 2 and write there P&L account. Here P&L account, working note 5. How much was that amount? 1 lakh. Wait, don't take total. Or you can take total because goodwill working note I have completed. So there is no question of capital reserve now coming in this working note. Yes or no? So what is the total now? Is it 1,34,000? Where? Balance sheet. Balance sheet. 1,34,000. Have you written here note number 2? Anytime you want to see any figure, you can refer that working note and you can locate it. The answer is 3,34,000 here. Only one person is waiting. Working note 4. So first you go to working note 2 and check 11 and 1. Right here, 11 and 1. This format is designed in such a manner that student can do themselves 2-3 homework easily. How much is the total? 22,000. Is it 22,000? Say yes. Yes. This 22,000 I will write in balance sheet liability side. 22,000. Then you tell me the total here. 4 lakh? Asset side also. Tallied? Wow. Amazing. 4,56,000. Now again if you try to match the minority interest, it will not. But I can reconcile. Tell me, take your calculator. Take 50,000 on calculator. We are trying to cross check minority interest. 50,000, 10,000, 30,000, 10,000. This is the total net asset of subsidiary on the balance sheet date. 1 lakh you got? But 10,000 revaluation reserve also first you add. And then add 2,000 because of revaluation reserve, it will tally. That way also you can do. That way also you can do. You can first take 1 lakh into 20% and plus 2,000 rupees share in revaluation reserve. But that stunt we will not do. If it is 1 or 2 adjustment, it is okay. But if there are many adjustment in the P&L account of subsidiary in the problem, then for each adjustment you have to adjust for minority interest. You want to do that? No, that's better. Question number. What comes after 2? Very good. So now we will solve. Arey, wait, you have not written this note. Note. In the absence of information about the rate of depreciation, in the absence of information about the rate of depreciation, in the absence of information about the rate of depreciation, comma, depreciation on revaluation of fixed asset has been ignored. Depreciation on revaluation of fixed asset has been ignored. Like we ignore the homework, we ignored the depreciation also. Like we ignore the studying at home, we ignored the depreciation also. Huh? Next question. Number 3. Now you will meet ICI from close distance, okay? These 2 questions were warm-up exercise, which means only for the beginners. Those who have begun their life in consolidation. Now ICI. The summarized balance sheet of A and its subsidiary B on 31/12/11, underline 31/12/11. This is DOC, date of consolidation. Understood? Yes, very interesting problem. It will test your knowledge of accounting also. Then goodwill at cost. Some goodwill is already appearing in the problem. Yes or no? So that goodwill you will also write in the balance sheet. That is already pre-existing goodwill. Then plant at cost less depreciation, fixture at cost less depreciation, stock at cost, debtor, investment tick. This investment, trade investment is appearing in the balance sheet of B Limited. 7,200 equity share in subsidiary is appearing in the balance sheet of A. Tick mark. This will go to working note 3, cost of acquisition. Balance at bank will go to balance sheet. A Limited 48,000 is appearing in the books of B, means it is an amount receivable from A. Group company dues. This will get cancelled. This will get group company receivables and payables we will cancel. So tick mark, hidden adjustment. They may not give you invitation to cancel, but you have to do it yourself. Asset side is over. Any query? Liability side. Share capital of 100 rupees each, securities premium. Capital reserve 1st January, general reserve 1st January, for P&L account 1st January, profit for the year 2011. All figures are given on 1st. Creditors, B Limited, tick, B Limited. Oh, there is a small problem. Amount receivable from A is 48. Amount payable to B is 40,500. 7,500 is the difference. There is an adjustment number 4 below. 4. Directly come to 4. A check of 7,500 from A was in transit on 31st December 2011. Understood? So instead of writing A Limited and B Limited, we will just write 7,500 rupees on the asset side as remittance in transit, check in transit or remittance in transit under the heading cash and cash equivalent in the balance sheet. Only 5 adjustments are given. You are required to prepare consolidated balance sheet of A and its subsidiary B together with working notes after giving effect to the following relevant information. Plant of B was to be revalued on 1/1/11. Plant of B was to be revalued on 1/1/11, and you are given balance sheet of 31/12/11. So you can't compare these two figures immediately. First you have to do backward working and find out what was the book value on 1/1/11. In one problem you have done in the practice. And after computation of that figure, then compare with this market value. Okay. And fixture at rupees 75,000. Trade investments were deemed to be valueless. What is the meaning of trade investments were deemed to be valueless? You will write it off. So entry for write-off of trade investment will be P&L account debit to trade investment. Which P&L account? Pre or post? Pre. Because all these adjustments I have to make on 1st of January. So pre-acquisition P&L account we will reduce and this trade investment will be written off. So trade investment will not appear in balance sheet. Rather the profit and loss account will reduce to that extent. Profit and loss account will reduce to that extent. And then there was no transaction of purchase or sale of this asset during the year. Good news, no purchase, no sale. Then second point, depreciation has been provided on plant at 10% and on fixture at 5%. So this time you can't write an excuse that depreciation has been ignored on revaluation. So this time 2 adjustment. 1 for revaluation gain or loss. Second for additional depreciation or excess depreciation to be written back. Is it right? We'll check that later. Come to point 3. The stock of B included 60,000 goods purchased from A. Who sold to whom? A to B. A to B. So upstream or downstream? Downstream. Who has earned the profit? A. So has minority interest got any share in that profit? No. Minority will not get any share in the profit of A. You will get share in the profit of B, but profit has been earned by A. So only A's P&L account will be adjusted. How much is the profit? 20%, 25% of cost. So 25 by 125 into 60,000. 25% of cost means 20% of selling price. 12,000. Okay, 12,000. Is it 12,000? 12,000. True or false? True. Next line. A check of 7,500 done. A Limited acquired the shares on 1st January 11. So this time again the problem is simple. The date of acquisition is 1st January 11. The date of consolidation is 31st December 11. So current year 12 months will be entirely treated as post. No need to divide the current year profit into pre and post. Understood? And whatever balance given on 1st January in the problem, you will see 1st January, 1st January, 1st January will be written in pre-acquisition column. Will be written in pre-acquisition column. Okay. So what you do now? One balance sheet, 2 notes, 6 working notes. Why 6? For the depreciation, extra depreciation or excess depreciation, we have to prepare one more. You will come and teach. You know all my dialogues now. Hai ki nahi? Come, teach this question. Acha, you are coming soon. You are not. On 25th she will teach, okay? Have you drawn the balance sheet? Array, at least you should draw the format. Consolidated balance sheet of A Limited as on 31st December 11, serial number, particular, note number, rupees. That much you should do. Then at least write equity and liability. Yes or no? Keep the question in front of you. Accordingly, we'll draw the format. Only what is required. Liability side is much simpler. Liability side is over. I am not in a hurry at all. Don't worry. I will complete your chapter dedicatedly. Yes or no? If you want to continue tomorrow, I am willing to give you off also today. Yes? No? Why there is a change of heart today? Done liability side? Now whenever you will ask me to give off, early break, I am more than willing to help you. Done. Liability side is done. In good handwriting. After trade payable, you have to keep 2 lines blank also, which you have not kept. Next slide, write asset. Under that, write one non-current asset. Write fixed asset. Write tangible asset. You can do so much thing yourself. See, tangible asset, note number 3. Today one more note I will draw, because there are many tangible assets in this problem. Plant, fixture. So instead of writing here, we'll prepare a note number 3. Then write intangible asset. 1 line blank. Where is current asset? Current asset is also there, don't worry. Point number 2, current asset. Current asset. After writing intangible asset, write current asset. Now you can copy. Current asset A, inventory. Inventory has an adjustment. Inventory has an adjustment. Upstream, downstream transaction adjustment is there. So I will first write inventory A, B, 1 line blank, less stock reserve. If you want to write unrealized profit, welcome. B, trade receivable. Trade receivable. 2 lines blank, A and B. Cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent, bank. Under bank A, B. Then also write add remittance in transit. Remittance or check in transit. Is the asset side over? You? Yes, that's good. Then what is the next task? Note number 1. What is note number 1? Share capital. 5 lines blank. Reserve and surplus. 7 lines blank. One more, note number 3 is also there. What is that note number 3? Tangible asset. 8 lines blank. 5, 7 and 8. Done. This is your only balance sheet. Now 6 working notes are also there. Working note 1, shareholding pattern of B Limited. Shareholding pattern of B Limited. Whose shareholding pattern? B. Now in this question the percentage is not given. I have to compute. So this time 2 columns on the right side, numbers and percentage. Numbers and percentage. Number and percentage. A Limited. A Limited is 7,200 shares out of 9,000. Out of 9,000. So 80%. Minority 1,800 share out of 9,000. 20%. This way you will write in those questions where numbers are only given, percentage is not given. So convert into percentage. Any query on this working note till now? What is next working note 2? Analysis of profit. How many columns you will draw? Serial number, particulars, pre-post. In post how many column? Only 1. P&L account. All other reserves are January, January, January. Okay. So all January will go to pre-acquisition. And only current year profit will go to post-acquisition. You are right. Sometimes you are also right. So 2 columns on the right side. Pre-acquisition, post-acquisition. In post acquisition, write profit and loss account, and all other reserves will be written in pre-column. Keep around 14 lines blank. How many lines? Minimum 14. More than that is welcome. Welcome. 14 lines you've written. What is the next working note? Draw yourself. You know how to do it. Same format. Copy from previous two questions. Cost of acquisition. Let's share in net asset. So write down. Working note 3. Goodwill or capital reserve. Point number A. Cost of acquisition. Point number B. Less share in net asset of subsidiary as on the date of acquisition. Then write share in share capital. Share in pre-acquisition profit. One line blank. Point number C, goodwill or capital reserve. Over? Say yes. Then why you are waiting? Why don't you write working note 4? Who asked you to wait? Minority interest. Same 3 lines. Which 3 lines? Share in share capital, share in pre-acquisition profit, and share in post-acquisition profit. Yes or no? Continue. Working note 4, minority interest. Share in share capital, share in pre-acquisition profit, in bracket working note 2, share in post-acquisition profit, in bracket working note 2. Okay? What is working note 5? Consolidated P&L account dash A Limited. Consolidated P&L account dash A Limited. Keep 6 lines blank, minimum. More than that is welcome. And this time there is one more working note. Working note number 6, write down. Working note 6, write down revised value of fixed asset of B Limited. Working note 6, write down. Only write the main heading. Do not write the internal details that we will write while solving the problem. This right now don't write. Revised value of fixed asset of B Limited. That is the heading, which will include revaluation, gain and loss also, and which will also include the depreciation also. Right hand side 2 columns, plant. And what is the next? Fixture. There is no furniture. So you take about 20 minutes to only draw the format. 5 minutes to read the problem. When will you solve? We have some 20 minutes still with us. 5 minutes. Okay. Goodwill. Have you prepared balance sheet? Asset side, goodwill you have written? Or no? There must be some space for intangible asset. Here you have kept some 2-3 lines blank. I said one only. Achha, no problem. We'll draw the format again. No problem. You just write goodwill and in bracket write like this 3,75,000 plus 1,12,500 and keep some space blank. If you get some more goodwill in working note 3, if you get, then add it. Otherwise, if you get capital reserve, then this goodwill you transfer to outer column and capital reserve you will write in note number 2. Okay, understandable? Move ahead. Plant. Plant. Have you prepared note number 3? Somewhere below you have prepared note number 3. Yes. No, note number 3 you have prepared, na? Only note number 3 heading I require, tangible asset. Right. Right there. A Limited. 2 columns you draw on the right side, rupees. Just rupees. Huh? Point number A Limited, in the inner column write plant write down 10,80,000. Plant, first column 10,80,000. Note number 3. Plant 10,80,000. 2 lines blank. Fixture A Limited 1,95,000. Plant 10,80,000. 2 lines blank. Fixture A Limited, first column 1,95,000. Okay. What about this subsidiary we have not written there? Subsidiary I will write in working note 6. So you come to working note 6, write first line only. First line write down WDV as on 31/12/11 6,75,000 and 85,500. Just keep it here. I'll come back to this later. Right now my duty is only to transfer the balance sheet figure. If I do too many adjustments at the same time, you might miss the second effect sometime. Okay. So keep it here. So second effect I have given, balance sheet figure I have transferred. Now we'll continue tomorrow. So एक